Hey, from New York City on the 37th floor, doing a little dry bath meditation solitude moment. And I wanted to talk about a few things that I don't really see anybody talking about. And it is why so many women in their 40s are feeling stuck, they're feeling exhausted, they're feeling disconnected. And a few things I wanted to talk about, but one of them is thinking that you can just have like the perfect diet, you can eat all the nutrients, you can eat all the fat, fiber, protein you want, you can do all the supplements, all the things. And while I've found, and a lot of friends and others have found that super helpful, it's not always the one thing. It's a piece to the puzzle. And I also want to share about it that it's not like the one thing, because sometimes when you focus on that, then it can become more stressful, because then you're kind of making it like it's a full-time job, and that gets exhausting. It can also lead to some isolation, some restriction of social time. And during this time, it's not when you want to be in solitude. So much so that you're in isolation, because then you start to feel the depression, and then it can get really hard to crawl out of that deep dark hole. And the second thing I wanted to talk about that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about with, women after 40 having this exhaustion, this disconnection, and the other things that's involved in, the journey of perimenopause, is that emotions are a huge piece of this. And I'm specifically talking about how when you have traumatic events in your past, big, little, medium, small, whatever, what can happen when you don't have the processing of them, you don't deal with it because you've just been busy building your successful life and doing all the things. So it is in your body, and these emotions, they say, doctors are finding studies and doing all these things about how the emotions get stuck in your body. And when that happens, you have the feelings in your body. It can manifest into symptoms and diseases and illnesses and all of these things. And even before that, when you have those thoughts and you just think them over and over and over again without addressing it, then it becomes a belief. And when you have these beliefs, then you operate in specific ways. And you might find yourself then getting stuck in these thought patterns. You're like, oh my gosh, you notice you have these things that you're thinking or doing or saying over and over and again. And on top of that, even if it's not, whatever, but we have 80,000 around that thoughts a day, and the majority of them are negative. So if you just have these thoughts and you have these beliefs and they're just stuck on repeat, then you're looping and you're just creating deeper neural pathways that when now your hormones are shifting, so you have all of these things going on at once. So talk therapy is great. However, I have worked with clients who have found great success super, super quickly when we do these processes of actually clearing the emotions from the root. And I'll have to show you a video of what I talk about with the Gestalt, but it's basically if you have like a glass of water and it's just overflowing, like if you were to have all these emotions just overflowing in this glass, That's what I'm talking about, is when you clear this gestalt in your subconscious mind, then you can clear the years or even decades or generations of this buildup of emotions and negative thinking and negative habits and behaviors as well within minutes. But the last piece I want to talk about that nobody else is really talking about is, you can pay all the money, hire all the people, take all the things, do everything perfect. But if you don't do this one thing, it's going to be really hard to get to the root of it. And this one thing is awareness. And you build this awareness by first just becoming so in tune with the things you're thinking on repeat. So the way you can easily do this is by journaling. I love journaling. First, it slows down that energy of that emotion. When you write it down, it works if you write it down, it works if you type it. If that isn't your thing, you could do a voice note. That's very helpful as well. But just do whatever you do, make it so you can refer back to it. Because besides just like getting it out of your head and getting it out somewhere, you want to be able to refer back to it so you can start to see those patterns, and you can start to really see like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking this negative thought, I'm believing this limiting pattern. And then, you start to gain momentum with being able to change those things once you're aware. So if you liked these points I talked about, and I'm excited to share more with you next time, so be sure to subscribe, like, and in the comment below, I would love to know, what is your current struggle that you are having after turning 40? Leave it in the comments below, and we'll talk again very soon.